Welcome back into the Fantasy Sanctuary. We're here for another mock draft. This time we're looking at 1QB. Let's dive in. The 101, no surprises, nothing changes. Bijan Robinson is an elite prospect. He's the best running back prospect in 8 years. Let's not overcomplicate things. If you've got the 101, you know who it is. You can already lock it in. The 102, 103, to me, this is a tier break. I think there's a tier break after Bijan. I think there's a tier break after the 103. It kind of comes down to, do you need the running back? Do you want to go receiver? To me, I'd lean slightly the positional longevity of wide receiver. So I'm going to go with JSN. I think he's an elite prospect. Yes, some of the shines come off in the last year with the injuries, but this guy produced at an elite level while sharing an offense with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson as a sophomore. I've got very few concerns about him translating to the NFL. 103, whoever you're getting, you're doing a happy dance. Jahmyr Gibbs, he has got fantastic receiving potential. He is going to be potentially a round one draft pick in the NFL draft. I think he has got a really impressive and high ceiling for fantasy. At the 104, as I said, this is the tier breakdown from Gibbs. I'm going to go Jordan Addison. I just think he's got the best combination of route running, athleticism, hands that I think he could translate well at the NFL level. At the 105, I'm going to go my guy. I feel like he's becoming my guy just because I still believe in the talent. Nobody does what he did as a freshman at LSU and doesn't go on to succeed. I think, yes, he's had an interesting couple of years, but let's not forget, halfway through last year before the injury, he was leading the country in touchdowns. Kayshon Boutte, I'm really excited about his potential as a prospect moving forward. At the 106, the wide receiver run continues. No, it's not Quentin Johnson. I'm going to go Josh Downs. I think he's got really interesting route running potential. And I think that whilst the ceiling might not be as high as Quentin Johnson, I think the floor is much higher. And I feel that he's a much better pick at this level. And then rounding out kind of the wide receiver run, Quentin Johnson. I don't like the route run ability. I don't like the hands. I think he goes missing. But at his side speed, it's not going to take much for him to potentially have that crazy high ceiling. And then we're into what I think is the next tier. There is definitely a tier break after those 4 wide receivers for me. There's kind of the 3 running backs, the elite tight ends. Who do you go for here? Me, I'm going to lean tight ends. I think that whilst Michael Mayer's not got the athleticism and the potential ceiling like a Kyle Pitts, I think as a prospect, he's elite. I think he does a lot of things correctly. I've got very few concerns about him translating to the next level. The 3 running backs, they've all got potential little pitfalls. They've all got things they do well. I think Zach Evans is my 3. He does everything well, but nothing elite. There's nothing that he can just hold his hat on and say that he's what he does incredibly. But I do think that he's going to be a solid, safe, reliable back. Of anyone in this draft at the running back position, I just don't know if the athleticism is elite enough for him to be a superstar. But I think that there's enough traits there that he should be a competent player at the next level. And then rounding out the next kind of tier of those running backs, if you like speed, you're going to love Sean Tucker. He is crazy fast. My concern is that he's going to be limited to only being a 2-down back at the next level. I think I saw very little in the way of route running. I saw very little in the way of natural hands. So I can't get on board with him above Charbonnet or Evans. Next, I think there's another tier of wide receivers. So we've got the Bijan tier, then there's the JSN Gibbs tier, then there's that tier of 4 receivers, then you've got the Michael Mayer and those 3 running backs. This is where you could go with the supreme upside of someone like Jalen Hyatt. You could go with what I think is an underrated player in Mims, but I'm going to go with the guy that seems to be getting a lot of hype off the back of the Senior Bowl. PFF are talking about him as their wide receiver 2 in this class. I think that we could see some hype start to get up over the coming weeks. But yeah, Zay Flowers round out the first round. Let me know, guys, which pick you loved, which pick you hate. Who do you think I'm crazy on? Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and stay around here. There'll be more content coming.